What's up, guys? So this video is not something I usually talk about, but so I found it super fascinating, the Drake and Kendrick stuff. Not from like the typical music whatever like ego perspective, but I'm someone who's like very much like I see life like a game of chess, and that's very much like the palace archetype, right? Asteroid palace. And here's Ina, by the way. She looked away. So I know some people are big Kendrick Lamar fans, but I want to give my experience with it because I found it super fascinating, like how this is all playing out and unexpected. And I think it's kind of it's just like it's blowing my mind in ways, right? So obviously, like for me, right? Someone I'm very right now, like I'll just say, like, my intuition right now has never been higher. Never in my life has it been higher. It's not a flex, but I've only like physically seen one human in 2025. I'm just with my cats, I'm working out, I'm healthy, and I'm super in tune with like the zeitgeist and just in general. Like I've been like predicting tons of stuff, and like, so I'm very confident in this. And Drake, my overall thing is like, Drake will, Drake won. It's not over yet, but hear me out. The Scorpio beat the Gemini. Surprise. But right now, so basically, it's crazy because I'm originally a Drake hater. Like when this whole shit started, like I was like, yes, kill him. Like I hate this guy. Like he's a piece of shit. He fucked over XXXTentacion. He's like my favorite rapper ever. And he's just like a cocky motherfucker. And now I find myself in very similar position to a lot of people, where it's like it's like you have like the music industry that's trying to tell us, like, it's very Pluto and Aquarius, like in the sense like you have some people who are loving Kendrick. Okay, I get it, right? But like I've like everyone has their own choice. I've been a hip hop fan since I was like 8 years old. Not really much lately. That was a horrible. I mean, like I feel bad. Like the performance itself was fine, but it was so boring. I mean, and mainly like this isn't about the performance, by the way, but like he has so many songs. Like Kendrick has like at least a full set list of songs that he could have like each one is like huge, and would have been so much more appropriate. But instead of like instead of doing a show that was celebrating him as an artist, he decided he took the very wrong move and basically just made Drake more powerful, because his whole show was just all about Drake. And I don't care what anyone wants to say about the symbolism and whatever. Okay, I get it. But this is the Super that Super Bowl halftime show. It's entertainment. It's not supposed to be like, okay, we get it. The point is that in the grand scheme of things, Drake went to Australia, had a crazy show, came out with like a vest with bullet holes, showing that that, and it's true, the whole industry tried to destroy him at once, and he just had like a crazy show. He has an album coming out strategically, I think this on Valentine's Day, so this week at 14th, and you have a huge sentiment online with people that it's interesting though, because I've seen more women supporting Kendrick and more men being like, nah, fuck Kendrick, like it's Drake. Not fuck Kendrick necessarily, but just like, no, Drake's the GOAT. And I feel that way. I feel like I've never felt like Drake is like the best ever until now. And it's kind of like really, and I think what it comes down to is that like the thing that really pissed me off was the Grammys. Like I don't watch that bullshit. Like you couldn't pay me to watch any of that kind of crap, right? It's the worst thing ever. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's nice to see celebrities like dressed up, whatever. I'm just not someone who's into that cool. I mean, if I was famous, I would love it, but like, I'm not gonna look at some other human, But no offense, I get it. Like, people in my family like it, and I know people who just like to get together and watch that stuff. It's fine. It's not for me. But the point is, like, it's if it was a democratic system like that, then it would be different. But it's just like every award is decided. So obviously they just like there's a whole like lawsuit, and there's essentially like it's this theme with the record label, the record industry, music industry going against Drake. It's one man who has, you know, who went to the very top and they just try to bring him down. And it's like, you know, like the way everything was set up, I don't know the exact specifics. So basically, like they had a record deal that was basically guessing that by 2025 Drake wouldn't be as relevant, or that, you know, at least he wouldn't still be as powerful as he is. So now, you know, they had their beef, and Kendrick, you know, had really good songs, and I thought Drake's Family Matters was really good, but Kendrick, you know, definitely had like really good songs, whatever. And I just think it's just so interesting how Drake kind of just chilled, let everyone do their, you know, have their fun, wait for the moment. And you know, it's almost like it's like a lesson in, like, he allowed Kendrick to fold. It's like Kendrick showed that he's not him. You know, he's not that guy. Like he's a great artist, but like he's not, like, you know, he's not that next level of like greatness, like in the sense of like yesterday showed it. If you don't believe it, it's like and I don't know if that was his like control the set list, but it was horrible. Like I literally was like, is this really what all this budget? Like I was remembering like past Super Bowl halftime shows. I'm just like, this is like, I get it, it's minimalist, but like did you just think about this for 15 minutes? Like the set list, you're not playing like I could think of like five to 10 songs that he should have played, and then throw in Not Like Us or whatever at the end, you know? Either way, it all speaks to like this Uranian quality in humans when the powers that be are trying to tell us who we should and who we shouldn't like. We do the opposite. So for me, as a very, not, you know, someone who I like, do not fucking tell me like who to like, do not tell me how to think, right? Like that is my biggest thing. So all this sentiment, I kind of feel bad for Kendrick, because it's like, it's not his fault, but giving him all the Grammys. The part that pissed me off the most was like at that Grammys, like everyone saying A minor, like that was so fucking pathetic. Like that, like when you probably have the amount of there's the amount of pedophiles, like true pedophiles, that, you know, like what has like what's the Drake thing? He's like was texting a girl that was like 16 or 17. Like did he ever have sex? Like I get it, that's not amazing, right? But like, did he ever like have sex with a child? You know, like I don't think so. I mean, you never know, but like, you know for a fact that these motherfuckers in Hollywood do that shit, human traffic, all that. Drake gets girls, like, you know, I mean, it's his fucking thing. Like it's not a secret. You hear the stories about like the Tabasco thing, you know, and the condom or whatever. The point is not you know, to show off about that, but the point is that, to me, that moment was like, just like when I saw that, I was just disgusted. And to me, it speaks of this like Capricornian system, you know, celebrity worship, celebrity, you know, these big, the influence is dying, right? And now it's free thought. Aquarius is free thought. And like now, the more we move into this, the less you're able to tell me, someone's able to tell me, I don't give a shit what anyone says, you know, like, I'm thinking for myself. Sovereignty is everything. Sovereignty of the mind, of thought. People can disagree, but it's like, at the end of the day, if you're intuitive, you can feel the energy, and you know that Drake is like, they put so much power. He's just sat back, and he's just like, now he's the underdog, Drake, and now he's gonna. I think, like, I mean, If I know Drake, who's probably like, you know, top in terms of just artists, he's one of the best ever. You know, Kendrick, it's like he's not in that conversation. He's a very good one. He's probably like top 15 hip hop of all time. I mean, if you know anything about hip hop, you know how many great artists there have been, right? I would put, you know, I don't know. I don't think and it's all personal taste too. I mean, for me, I think I like him a lot. Like, I think he's probably like top 15. I don't know if he's top 10. I mean, I listened to hip hop when hip hop was really hip hop. You know, I was like obsessed with it, like from a young age, like weirdly young, basketball and hip hop. but now I like electronic music. But yeah, like, so I think like if this CD, I have a feeling that Drake's gonna drop a CD. I don't know if I'll release this because I feel like people are just gonna be annoying in the comments, but I'm making this the day after the Super Bowl, and I feel like Drake is gonna drop a CD on Valentine's Day. And I don't know if this one will be the one or if he'll have like a solo one after that he'll take more time on. But eventually he's going to come out with something that's going to make us forget about all this stuff, and it's going to be like just he wins. It's going to be like he's like, and what he's going to do, he's brilliant, right? He's a strategist. He's Scorpio. Scorpio is the planner. Scorpio is that person that can think ahead, right? And it's not really about sun signs, like about who's a better strategizer. Okay, don't get it twisted, right? And is Kendrick a Pisces moon? Is he the same as Kanye? Are they both Gemini suns, Pisces moons? Why can't I think of that? I think he is. Well, definitely manifests way different. But yeah, so yeah, is he Pisces? Yeah, so I think what's gonna happen is that Drake's gonna continue to get more momentum, especially with men. Like, women, I feel like are kind of set on Kendrick for the most part, not all. And obviously for men, it's never all men and all women. There's always like kind of it's never like going to be like something so polarizing like that. But I feel like he's going to have a few lines, super well crafted, little slights. I don't even know what they're going to be like, but they're going to just be so hard. And it's just going to essentially just like, it's like this effortless winning. It's like, instead of trying so hard, just ignore the shit. Ignore the shit. It's like in fighting. It's like, you have people in fights who just sit back and let their opponent make a mistake, right? Like, instead of like, sometimes that's the best thing you can do. It's like, it's not about what you do. See, now you tie this to more philosophical thought. Like, sometimes it's not about what you do; it's about what you don't do, right? Sometimes it's not taking action, Mars. It's about Venus, passive, right? Okay, I can't change any of this, so I'm gonna sit back and do my best, right? So, and it's about knowing when it's time to act and when it's time to sit back and be patient, right? So Drake, he did what he could. He obviously, like, going against Kendrick when in like a fucking rap battle is not a good idea. I mean, look, I said I think Drake's a better artist. He's not better. No one's better. I thought, like, the fact that he even like got close, like, with the third verse of Family Matters for me was the best. That's the only part. The only I got, like, Not Like Us was cool for a few times. Like, when it came out, it was like, whoa. But I just got bored of it really fast. But it's probably because it's just overplayed. But it's, yeah, objectively, like, a very, very dope. But, like, when you've heard, it's just so cheesy. It's just one of those songs that's, like, overplayed and it kills it, right? So it's not really the song or the artist's fault. I thought that one Kendrick did, Meet the Grams, was insane. I thought that was, like, a psychopathic, like, in a good way. Like, oh my God. But Family Matters to me was, like, the only song that, like, those are my favorite. One of my favorite. The third verse only was my favorite part of the whole thing. I was like, oh my God. The one that's like, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone will go, na 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 na. That's in other words. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go give him a Grammy Award. Da na 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 na. Da na 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 na. Man in the house. Yeah, we can't think of the words right now. But yeah. So that's kind of what we're thinking, me and Esme, is that somehow Drake will emerge more loved and more respected and have moved away from, and this is Pluto. This is his Pluto. He's a Scorpio Sun. Pluto has been squaring his sun, right? Am I tripping? Like, because it's I remember, like, I'm pretty sure, like, during the beef, I remember I was saying, like, okay, Aquarius and Pluto is squaring Drake's Scorpio Sun, because he's October, so I think he's like right at the start of Scorpio, right on the cusp, would make sense. The Libra, Scorpio cusp, and cusps are real definitely for sun signs, which is another argument I'm not going to get into. Just I've only observed them for sun signs. But, Pluto, death, rebirth, transformation, being reborn. So, can you withstand it? Can you deal with the pressure? It's Pluto. And, going through the crisis, which he went through. And, who knows? He might emerge like a more, not necessarily like he's going to make more money, right? He's already has that. Fame has that. He's like, his reputation was looked at as like a guy, I feel like I'm in tune with like how most people, most guys at least, and a lot of like, I mean, there's really lots of different, I don't know. I think there's a zeitgeist, a pretty pretty typical approach to Drake before this whole thing was like, it's fucking Drake. It's kind of boring, it's kind of played out. Like he's great, but come on, like it's just, he's been like what's new, like just a record label dude, like, just complete definition of like, a superstar, of a famous, just, famous person that's unrelatable, etc. And now that he's had to go through this very, human experience in the sense of trying to get shut down, having all these people try to come at you, he's gone through an archetypal journey of overcoming just overcoming something so substantial and still surviving. That is Pluto. And he is evolving in the process. And I'm calling it, he's going to drop. I don't know if it's going to be this one, because I think this one's with Party Next Door, so it's going to be on Valentine's Day, so maybe it's going to be less of like a hip-hop, more of like R&B, which is cool. Like it could be really good. But people are going to be paying attention. People are going to be listening to that album, and like if he really does lock down and do like I don't know what that one's going to be like, but if that's the one, or if there's one that comes like after, that's like where he's like, all right, I feel the energy, like it's time to like lock down, solo project, go crazy. There's going to be something he puts out that's going to be, if not his best album ever, it's going to be one of the most loved albums he's ever put out, because people are cheering for him now. People, because now he's one of us, in the sense of like, now he's one of like the people, who just where life is just trying to fuck us, or people just feel that way, right? People relate with someone who is trying to get sabotaged, who's trying to get fucked over. He somehow, without even like doing anything, went from the opposite of the underdog. He went from like Goliath to David, but he's not David. He's still fucking huge, but like, you see, it's just crazy, right? And it's just such a good definition of it's like right now, energetically, if you feel the aura of Kendrick, the aura of Drake, it's like growing, and in Kendrick, I think he's still great, but like, I mean, to me, it's a game of chess, and Drake just has to make that last move for checkmate. That's how I see it. Now, with that said, Drake could come out with an amazing CD, and then it's like Kendrick, in this metaphorical, or I guess battle or whatever, supremacy, it's like, you have to come out with a CD now that's better than his. And that's where I don't think he's capable. I think for disses, yeah, but when it comes to making fucking music, singing, rapping, like tons of different genres, like Kendrick he's just a rapper. He does one thing excellently, right? He's a lyricist. And I've told people I'm not hanging on Kendrick. Like Kendrick was like one of my favorite, like 10, 13 years ago, a long time ago. He had Overly Dedicated, which is one of my favorite CDs ever. But yeah, that's how I see it. So I don't know if I'm gonna release this, but at the end of the day, like I really do think that Kendrick. I think that whether it's in a month or even like in a week, I don't know how much time, Drake is in a position to get to a level that's higher than he's ever been, and that is the definition. Like you hear about billionaires and millionaires that go through Pluto's squaring their sun, and they, like, I've heard stories of them losing their businesses, that they were so much in their ego, like Drake was, because Pluto is ego versus soul, and then they lose everything just to build it back 10 times stronger. So you're seeing, like, it's not done yet. He still has to put in the work, but now the road is clear for him to do it. The Super Bowl's done. Kendrick, like, what's he gonna talk about now? Anyways, that's my take. We'll see if I'm right. Or maybe I'll just put this on YouTube and turn comments off, because I just don't want it. Like, this is something I just don't really care about, like, debating, because, like, it's just, like, people might say something like, it's not really a debate. It's because it's like, you could, like, whatever, like, if I've heard everything, like, I have a lot of people who are like hardcore Kendrick, and I usually don't never talk about this kind of stuff. I just find it interesting from the strategic standpoint. I get people be like, oh, well, they celebrate, you understand, he was talking to Trump, he was talking to this, that, was talking about Samuel L. Jackson, and, like, I get it, but, like, I just feel like there's a time and place for everything. I think that he still could have done that. He still could have done that. He could have done so many things. He could have brought Lil Wayne, if he was able to. I don't know how much control Jay-Z has over that, but, like, he could have, like, the smart move would have been to, make it about him and bring Wayne out in his own city, bring Lil Wayne out. Everyone was so upset, and he didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe he got arrogant, maybe he got cocky. Maybe he thought, like, oh, I just won all these Grammys. So, yeah. Now Kendrick and Drake have switched spots. Crazy, huh? Now Kendrick is the golden boy, who won all the Grammys, who is playing in the Super Bowl, and now Drake is kind of the one that you're supposed to not like. But what does that make you do? For me, it makes me like him. It makes me think he's the GOAT. But we'll see what the music brings. Anyways, I don't know if I'll even post this, but, and by the way, I do respect, like, everyone's opinion. Like, I get it. Like, if you think that was an amazing halftime show, maybe we just have different tastes. I just know what Kendrick's capable of, and that was shit. Not shit. It was fine, but, like, this is like a Super Bowl halftime. This is supposed to be major, major, major. So we'll see. But my prediction, yeah, I think Drake is gonna come out on top somehow, and this was, like, completely unexpected. And yeah, I mean, it's not like, and even if he does, like, yeah, like I said, Kendrick can still, he has it in him to come out with an album after that, but I just don't see it. I'd be surprised. So favorite, yeah, I think Drake, but, like, at the same time, like, what's like why is everything, like, it's like, it's at the end of the day, it's like, will this just go on and on and on and on? I don't know. But I think Drake, yeah, is going to surprise a lot of people. All right, that's it. Ciao.